Hi, this is Dan Funk again. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to test your workflows. Um, you'll notice that on our demo site there's a new test area that you can click on, and this will allow you to generate new tests for any process model or process instance ID. If we come back out and click on examples here, we can go into one of the most common examples I give during my regular demo calls with people is the essentials example that just steps through a lot of the most common elements that you will encounter in a BPMN process. So those are things like the manual tasks, user tasks, script tasks, decision tables, gateways that will take you down different branches, signal events. And these aren't all the BPMN elements that you'll encounter, but there are a good many of them, and they help show that exercising these tests is possible across fairly complex workflows. So what I'm going to do is just run through it one time. So I'm going to come back out and hit start and run through this process. I'm going to do it correctly, so I'm going to answer the questions correctly, which will take us down a very specific path. And we'll see that we get the picture check Norris here, and I can click continue, and we're done with that workflow process. You can see that we move down through this path and back out. So this was process 5403. I'm going to come back out to the essentials example here, and in files, I've done this a few times to kind of test it out. So there's this test file. I'm just going to delete it so that it's not here anymore. And you'll notice that we can come up to this test. So let me open that up in a new tab here, and we'll get it's going to ask us for a modified process model identifier and a process instance ID. So we just need to go back and pull those out of this instance. I'm going to grab that process model identifier example 02 from there. And a process instance ID, that we just executed it, so we can click on my process instances and see that we just finished this one, 5403. So I'll go back over here and enter 5403 and submit it. And what this is going to do is it's going to produce a JSON file. And if we come back to our workflow, we'll notice when I click on files here and I have to reload the page to get this to show up. When I click on the files here, we see that there's a test underscore user guide basics.json. And we have a new icon here at the top, run all BPMN unit tests on this process model. And I can click this, and we'll pretty quickly get a little green check mark. So what is it doing exactly? Let's click on the JSON file and check it out. Load it up here. We can see this is a test case for process instance 5403. It's a JSON file. And we do a lot with JSON files and JSON schemas in SPIF workflow. But it's not a long one. It's just 36 lines long, but it does execute the full process model. And basically here at the top it says, I expect when this process model is done, I expect these values to be present. So you've got 3 questions. There was a bulletproof question, push-ups, and Thanos. And these 3 values are set when you complete the form. They're responses to those radio buttons. The score, that's calculated inside the script task. So it looks at these values and determines if they're right and gives you a score. And then the score message, that was generated in the decision table. And basically it just says that these activities are going to get executed so that we can see that path through the perfect score. When you've got everything right, we expect that path to get executed. And then a review. And that's kind of it. Here's the task we expect to execute, and here's the output that we expect to see. Here's the data that you should use when encountering the user forms. And it just runs through the whole process, executing all of the code just as if someone was clicking through each one of these and filling out the data in this form. And you can add to this and do multiple process instances and process models to create more complex tests that test different areas. And then anytime you need to, without running the process, we can make changes, test it, know that it's okay. We'll be adding more testing features to the system over time. um, that will allow you to maybe test all the process models inside of a given directory, or all the process models across the whole system, and get a report back on what's not working. Some of these will be enterprise level features, and some will come with the core open source code base. Really, all the features and functionality, much of the features and functionality will be there. But if you want like a quick out of the box, ready to use thing, go with our enterprise support plan, and you'll have these features built in and ready to roll. And I hope that helps like answer some questions and gets you excited about like all the new things that we're building. And thanks so much for your time.